Hey, you, come a little closer. Shh, just a little bit closer. I have something that I want to whisper in your ear. Tonight's show is going to be a killer. What women want. However, it's not that show about the egotistical, chauvinistic man who can hear women think. We have live women here tonight, and they're going to tell us what they're thinking. So I want to start my show by letting you know who my guests are. Sit tight and welcome my first guest. Okay. Yes. Sorry, guys. It moving around on me just a moment. All right. Tonight I have with me Miss Joy Calixte. Joy is, hold on, I had a little blurb, a little blurb, and I will introduce her because she is a fantastic lady and she has too much to give to us tonight. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. Joy Calixte is a Tampa transplant by Indianapolis, Indiana. She is an Indiana University Go Hoosiers graduate and hold an MBA for Indiana. I don't know how you say that, Joy. Wesleyan.
Yes, Indiana Wesleyan. Yes.
Okay. Community service is one of her life's pillars, including servicing on several boards and community organizations. She is a proud mother, a member of Alpha, Theta, Omega of Alpha Kappa, Alpha Sorority, where she is most recently won 2022 Member of the Year from her chapter. Her biggest accomplishment, however, is being a wife. Hey, Jimmy. And mother of five, including two bonus children. In her spare time, she enjoys unwinding with a good book and meeting with her monthly book club. Please welcome Joy Calixte. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Next, we have my guest is a native of New York, a wife of 18 years, a mother of four, and she has a senior who is making her nervous about going off to college. And she's a grandma. Okay, you guys, you're going to see that when she comes on the screen. She is an alumni of the University of South Florida, a self proclaimed interior decorator, loves to travel and have house parties. But do not forget, she is a wine connoisseur. Please welcome Helena Hampton-Davis.
Hey.
Next, we have my next guest was born and raised in sunny Miami, Florida. She moved to Tallahassee, Florida to attend Florida State University. Go Seminoles, where she graduated in 2022. She's a youngin, okay, with a degree in criminology. She currently is an auxiliary law enforcement officer as well as an assistant drug screening coordinator for Leon County. In her free time, she enjoys spending time with family as well as cooking and traveling. Trying new recipes. She is a fabulous cook. Finally, she is due to be married in less than 2 months on March 3rd, 2023. Please welcome Malana Grimes. All right, move right along. This is an interesting panel here, guys. My next guest is the Dean of St. Bonaventure University School of Business. She obtained her PhD at Florida State University with the Knowles and has vast experience in higher education and leadership development. Prior to St. Bonaventure in 2016, she was the Associate Dean of Jacksonville University's Davis College of Business, Jacksonville, Florida, and director of its graduate business programs. Also, she is a lifetime Silver Star, aka, I know I'm saying it wrong, Boulay member.
Yes.
Most importantly, she is the mother of four very handsome gentlemen and a wife of 27 years. Please welcome Dr. Monteesia James. I don't know who your husband is. He's going to kill me. All right, moving right along, guys. All right, last but definitely not least, we do have another guest that's going to join us a little later in the progress, but in the program. But last for right now, but definitely not least, my next guest is 61 years plus, grateful Grand Hampton resident, along with her husband for 3.5 years now. Previously from Tallahassee and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Professional work in the criminal division of the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. Hobbies include water aerobics, guys, and land workouts. Grateful recovering alcoholic since July 20th, 1987. Please welcome Annette Simmons-Brown. Where are you, Miss Annette? I know you're here.
Hello, hello.
All right, guys. I have a panel, and everybody has different backgrounds, so that's why this is going to make this an interesting show. So, what I want to say to my guests and whoever are watching, please chime in. All you have to do is type whatever you want to type in the chat box. If it's worthy, you want to ask a question, make a comment. I'll put it on the screen. We can address it as we go. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right into this. And whenever I'm going to grab my cell phone, because whenever my next guest is ready to join us, she can shoot me a text. She's still on. She can just say something, and we'll bring her to the broadcast wherever she is. Oh, guys, we have a crowd favorite here. Hey, Tony, how you doing? He's watching, guys. All right. So, ladies, first question. I am going to pose this to Miss Joy. She's going to lead us off.
All right.
Define happiness. What does that mean to you?
Oh, come with the big ones.
The big ones.
You know, happiness, I think it means a lot to a lot of different people. Some people define happiness with, love, money, family, status. My happiness, honestly, I'm a woman of God. My happiness comes from above.
All right.
Life isn't guaranteed. Not every day is sunshine and rainbows, but I know through Christ, Lord Jesus, that's where I find my strength, my happiness, my calmness, my guide, my everything. So to me, that's how I define happiness.
She said calmness. Whew.
Yes.
Anybody want to chime in? Ladies, jump right in. That's a good one. What is happiness to you?
So I would say that happiness is
I'll go next. Go ahead.
And inner peace, I would say contentment. And you mentioned I have 4 sons. So for me, happiness is in their smile. And, knowing that they're progressing and growing. And I just think it's a combination of all those things that my soror just mentioned, family being one of them. And I just think we each find it differently, but it comes from finding your inner peace.
Awesome. Miss Annette, I think you were dying to say something.
Well, I've been chewing over that first question basically since you sent them out, and I'm glad. I have no idea what happiness is. I know what feeling good is. I know what elation feels like. I know what contentment feels like. I know, what all the good feels feel like. And I don't know if all of those are just facets of happiness or they're just their own things. So I feel all of those things. And I think that overall, and to be able to feel engaged in what I'm doing, be it humble, be it grand, probably I think what the wellspring of most of my happiness for me, because I've been one lucky person in this world, is a sense of gratitude for all of my blessings and compassion for those who are not similarly blessed. And I think understanding that some people are not happy is important.
Okay.
That's me.
All right. I'm going to go to the young one. Hi, Miss Grimes. What is happiness?
I also struggled when I seen that question. Just because I'm learning, sometimes I feel like I'm in situations where I think I'm happy or where I thought I would be happy. Um, for example, I moved into my dream house
Yeah.
and we haven't finished furnishing the house. And most days I come home and I'm like, I have this house, but I'm still not happy.
Oh.
So I had to think about the fact that happiness to me is when I'm able to be in a moment and just enjoy that moment for what it is.
All right.
And when I think about that when I'm with family.
Okay.
When we have our game nights, I'm not focused on anything that's outside of that. I'm able
Yeah.
to just live in that moment and then
Yeah.
just enjoy it for what it is. So I would say to me, I'm learning that that's what true happiness is.
Awesome. All right, Lena, come up the end. Come up. Close us out on happiness.
All right, I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna take it home. All right, so I'm listening to everyone, and I too, when I first saw it, I was like, dang, how am I gonna answer this, and how am I gonna make it good, and and then I came to the realization of no, this is where you got to be honest. Over the times, I'm at an age now where over the years, I placed happiness in people, in things, and if I can make this one happy, then I'm happy. If I can do enough, then I'll feel better. And I'm at an age and a point in my life where my happiness is totally geared on me now. It is not letting my peace be disrupted or just derailed in any kind of way. So, and I'll give an example to say, if somebody else does not feel comfortable in their space, I no longer make that my thing to fix. This season is about me being happy, me doing what I need to do to make me healthy, keeping my peace in a way that when I wake up in the morning, if you're in a bad mood, it's not going to affect me. Whereas before it used to. Not anymore.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. You are not gonna get me in
it's
trouble.
about peace.
You are not getting me in trouble with that one. Okay. And I just want to interject real quick. Every one of these ladies have a special personal place in my life. I met them recently and they grew on me quickly. The newest cast member is Miss Annette, but she is not shy. So is she just jumped in and Latasha. Hey, I love it, guys. I love it. So we feel I don't want to say starred, but I featured in a couple of shows that Anthony wrote. It's called Grand Hampton, and Miss Annette has been working with him to, create more movies. And she thought of me, and so I was so excited when she wrote the last production. So thank you, Miss Annette. All right, listen to this one. Miss Hampton, you leading this one off. How important are friends? How big is your inner circle and why?
It's funny that you would pick me to lead that one. I'm sorry, Latasha, but I'm gonna pull you in on this. But I've known Latasha for a few years now, maybe 10 years now.
What?
Since I've been here in Florida.
2013.
And I'll say my inner circle is rather small because I've come to realize it's not about quantity, but quality.
I see a lot of head nods.
And you stole my line, by the way.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
When I first got here, not being from Tampa, we moved here from Atlanta, so I left a lot of
Uh-oh. You lose our host?
I think so. I see Malana's icon, but I
I'm
don't.
here. I
Oh,
will.
I think she's probably adding someone in.
Yes, I added Shae in,
Okay.
but I think she's on here twice. But Shae, I'll bring you back in just a second. I don't want to add you without telling them who you are. Okay. So, Lena, you were in the middle of your conversation. Go ahead and try and take it away.
You want to
Quantity.
bring her in first?
No, go
You-
ahead. I want you to finish that thought. Quality
Yeah,
over quantity.
quantity. Right. And the reason I say that is because having a lot of people, a lot of women in your friend circle, it's a lot to keep up with.
Mhm.
And I am the type of person, I love hard. So whether you're a friend, a partner, you get 100% of me.
Okay.
And I've learned not everybody thinks the way you do.
Right.
So just because I love hard doesn't mean everybody else is going to love hard or even be able to give you back what you put out there.
Right.
So my expectations about friend relationships with women has drastically changed, where I don't feel the need to have so many friends. I don't want to be able to not call, and if I didn't talk to you in a few days or it's a big issue, but when you're supposed to check up, I do have an expectation for friends that common courtesy should go across the board.
And she will
Whether
check.
you and that's because
She will check
if you invested in a friendship,
We'll
if
check.
you're invested in a friendship, you want to get back some of what you put out there. So with that being said, friendships are important, but I mean, you take them for what they are.
All right.
You have those few people that will be your ride or dies.
Yeah.
And then some are just there for the moment.
All right. For the season. I'm going to pause right there and I'm going to introduce my last guest. She is important to this cast as well. So you guys just hold on and hang on tight. And I'm going to introduce my next guest. My last guest is an educator, a singer, songwriter, amongst other things. She hails from Quincy, Florida, a small town just outside of Tallahassee. Her undergraduate degree is from the University of South Florida and a master's from Nova Southeastern University. In February, she'll be married for 7 years. She enjoys dancing, being a dance coach, and walking young people into their full potential. Please welcome Shae Allen to our cast.
Hi,
Hey.
Hey.
So we have a full cast right now. And so, Monteesia, piggyback off of that.
Okay, so I completely agree.
Somebody has a double mic on. You have a cell phone on that has sound, and then you also have your computer or whatever. Can somebody check? Make sure they don't have on double stuff.
It appears to be Shae. Hers lights up when you talk.
You have a cell phone there?
According to my devices, there's nothing. I went and I just kind of scrolled through the windows. I don't see anything.
It might be me. I don't know. Okay, so we're getting feedback. We'll work on it as we go along. So everybody just bear with us and we're gonna keep this ball rolling.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead, Monteesia.
So Latasha has known me for, I'm going to say, 30 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not
26?
that long, but pretty close, right?
Yep.
27 at least.
Yep.
And I have a very, very, I'm a private person. I have a small group of friends. So I completely agree with what Lena has said already. And I think it is about having friends in your circle that you can trust. And I don't use the word friend lightly, because sometimes we use friend in place of associate or colleague or so forth, but to be friend is different.
Mhm.
And when I speak of friend, most of my inner circle, the ladies in my inner circle are often relatives, but I do have a handful of women who I'm not related to, who I'm very close to. And that doesn't mean we talk every day, but I know that if I need them, they're going to be there. If they need me, they just look this way and I'm there. And I think that's important. And I think instead of trying to have a fan base, like so many times on social media, we're looking to see how many likes we get or how many thousands of friends we can have. I'm even kind of picky on those things.
Yes.
Um, because I have like zillions of, if you're not my friend in real life, what is the point of being friends on social media? What's the motive? And I feel like um, that we have to be cautious and protect ourselves in our lives. And especially, again, as Lena mentioned, at this stage in my life, I see things differently. And
Mhm.
it is about making a positive impact on the world, but it is also about self-love. You can't really give out real love until you love yourself and you
Sure.
protect your surroundings. And friends are the ones who do that. So
Oh, there
I
you
have a
go.
small group of friends.
Anybody else want to chime in on that one? Just jump right on in. Oh, we're not gonna be camera shy because I'm gonna call on you.
I feel the way Lena and Matricia have said that I too, I have a tiny circle of friends, always have. And especially when you move out of the bubbles of school and into the bigger outside world, it's harder to, I think, make and maintain friends. And I'm very picky about whom I call a friend. To me, a friend is a sacred thing and a sacred word. And I think a lot of people, just like they overuse the word love, they overuse the word friend as well. And that's not to say that a person whom you don't really feel like you're a friend, you're not a confidant, you're not this, but it's a perfectly nice person, but you can't bond with everybody.
Right.
And I think maintaining your own, boundaries of how much emotional energy you have for the things that you need to do and the things you want to do, choosing and cultivating friendships is part of that. I'm not the kind of friend that you'll get together with for a mani-pedi and a long lunch and all of that kind of thing. I am the kind of friend, if you're working towards a goal, I will support that goal.
Mhm.
If you're trying to build a business, I will try to promote that business in whatever small ways I can, because I've known what it's like to try to work upward, rung by rung, to succeed at something. And I like participating in that with the people around me.
That's
So
a
I think there are different kinds of friendships, but there are just a few sisters
okay.
in sisters from another mister. If you,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? Thank you. We have not heard from Shae. The question posed, Shae, is how important are friends? How big is your inner circle and why?
I think friends are important, especially for women who pour out a lot. And it just depends on the person, right? I feel like there's definitely some scriptures and proverbs about friendships that I truly believe in, and I am thankful to be able to have had some friendships for so far back as pre-K. I have a lifelong friend who we became friends when we were in pre-K, and we're still friends. So a long time, over 35 years. And one of my other closer friends, we've been friends, I don't know, definitely over 20 years. So I have a couple friends who are like my best friends, and then I have a circle of friends, like girls that I danced with when I was in college, and we kind of became like a sisterhood. I know a lot of people pledge and become AKAs and Deltas. So I have that group of girls who I danced with when I was in college, and we became like our own sisterhood. Their children, we're their aunties and godmothers, and so on and so forth. So it did become a sisterhood. And I think you can have friendships amongst your family. So I have 9 siblings. I have 7 sisters and 2 brothers, and there are yeah, and
Wow.
there are siblings that I share friendships with, and there are siblings that I just share a sibling relationship with. You know what I mean? And then it changes from year to year. Like certain years, and this is probably a benefit of having so many siblings. Certain years I'm closer with one sibling or another. It just depends on whatever myself or that sibling may be going through that may bring us closer, like what Annette was saying, that she may help someone towards their goal to build their business or promote it. I may be working on something like that with a sibling or a friend. So I think friends can help to build you up, can help to be there in your time of need. um these are people that can pour into you when you're feeling down. It's an outlet outside of your family, outside of your children, your husband, that you can vent to, outside of your family, because sometimes that's important. It just depends on the situation. So I think that there are several benefits to having friends, but I think ultimately a friend is someone who is there for you in your time of need, in your up and in your down, and you
Now,
can call on them.
I'm going to switch it up just a little bit. Joy, I know I haven't chimed in with you and Malana, but I'm going to switch the question because we have a young person here. And I'm going to start with you, Miss Malana Brown.
Latasha, I think the feedback might be coming from you.
I don't have anything on. Am I talking? And
Well, I think when Shae was muted, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything on. Let me turn all of this off.
No
Okay,
feedback.
I don't hear it anymore though.
Whenever I have to go on mute, so I didn't hit mute when I finished talking.
Okay, so Malana,
Yes.
if marriage is forever, if your spouse cheats on you, are you gonna stay?
For me, it's a deal breaker.
Okay.
So
he knows before this gets started.
He knows. He does know that.
Okay.
And I personally feel like it's a deal breaker for me, because it's a choice. I feel like a lot of people, or what I see, when people explain cheating, they say they were put in situations to cheat, or it was temptation, or whatever the case may be. But just being in a committed relationship for the past 4 years now, I'm learning that everything that we do in our relationship is a choice. And before I do anything in my relationship, I'm always thinking, how will my partner feel about this? How will my partner feel if they found out about this? Or what will my partner say in this situation? So that's my train of thought in my relationship. So I feel like if I was to get cheated on in a marriage, not once did you think about how I was going to feel. Yeah. Or did you think about if I found out, if I would allow for this to happen, or what will it do to the relationship? So to actually go to the extent of cheating, and that can be physically, that can be social media, any kind of cheating, it's a deal breaker for me.
All right. Oh joy. Oh joy. Oh joy. Oh joy.
I think the real question is, would he be alive for me to make that choice? I think that might be the real question. No. Hi, honey. I'm hoping
Jimmy!
Right. Hi, you might be out there listening to this in your car. I think for me, it would be very difficult to make that decision now, and say yes, I would leave him. Forgiveness, yes, we are to forgive each other. Everybody makes mistakes. Forget and carry on like it never happened is something completely different.
Okay.
Because just like Malana said, that is my trust. That is a selfish move. You are irresponsible with my heart. We have several children. It's a lot. So it's very difficult to say, would I stay with him? More than likely, yes, to be honest. I would more than likely, yes, stay with my husband, but it would take a lot of work. Marriage is already hard enough, but it would take an abundance amount of faith and trust in him for me to continue that marriage and to set a good example. Because everybody makes mistakes, everybody does, but you don't slip and fall in it. There's steps you take to get to that point, right? So
Wow,
you
that's
know,
good. That was a
yeah,
good one.
it's not that easy. So you have to put a conscious effort to cheat on me. So
I
it
heard
would be
it.
difficult.
I see some eye rollings over here. Anybody else want to chime in? Because I see some eye rollings going on. So anybody else want to jump in? Lena got a hand up, y'all. Go ahead, Lena.
I'm gonna switch the game up for y'all right now. So I'm gonna say I got 19, 20 years in on this marriage thing here. And I'm just gonna say I laid the rule down from day one when we got married. And I said, what you do, I can do better. So if that's the game and route you
Water
want
on
to
that
take,
one.
you are going to open up a door to a game I'm not sure if you're willing to play. I said, so you have to be mindful. And I kid you not. This is the discussion we had. So my rule was I would rather tell you that I'm unhappy and for me to cheat on you. Okay. So I'm expecting the same thing from you. Right. But if you cheat, then you just opened up the door for us to be just open. Because I'm not going to let you go. It's not going to be that easy. I'm vested. It's like working for the county right now. So I don't put my years in.
Yeah.
Okay. We have things together. We have property together. We got money involved. We got kids involved. Ain't no walking away at this point. So if you are willing to go that far after 20 years and dip on out, well, you just opened up the door. It's time to play because I'm not going to hide mine. So I will just say this. Do I want to cheat in my marriage? No, I don't. But if I had to prove a point, I can. So as long as you know that, you shouldn't want to overstep that boundary to test to see if I'm going to.
All right.
I'm just saying, that's my keep it real moment.
That's keeping it real.
That's what we're doing tonight. So
all right, keep it real. I like that. And I just want to give a shout out to my cousin who is watching. Hey, Miss Peaches in Havana, Florida. Thank you for watching. All right, ladies, that's a hot question. So anybody else want to jump in and make sure that their husband's not watching, go right ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to switch it right on up. Miss James, Dr. James, your husband's pretty big. I mean,
that's all right. He's not listening, but
okay.
I actually kind of like what the all three people said, because I've been married 27 years. And so what a person might do, say they'll do prior to marriage or in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know what I would do, but I can't tell you emphatically that I would leave or stay, but the game would change for sure. It wouldn't be the same, because even if you stayed in the relationship, trust would have been damaged and destroyed. My kids now, I'm an empty nester. My last one is a freshman in college. So there's a freedom that I have to make choices that I feel like I wouldn't have had 5 years ago, because you created a structure for your family. And how you deal with that, each couple or each family would deal with it differently. Some people do stay in that legal marriage, and then they do things differently. If you have broken trust, you are not going to have the same relationship. And then when I thought about this, when you say if marriage is forever, well, we know marriage is not forever, because a lot of people don't stay together forever. So marriage is not forever for everyone. And so I think each couple, each family would have to deal with that differently. And I don't know, I can't, like I said, I don't know if I go and stay, but things would certainly change. It wouldn't be, we can just, forgiveness is one thing, forgetting. I know you can't forget when things like that happen. I couldn't forget. I have a photographic memory, so it also depends on how I find out. If I see
All I
it,
say,
maybe I don't.
just sleep with one eye open, sir. Just sleep with one eye open. That's all I say, because them hot pot of grits coming. Okay, them hot pot of grits coming. So sleep with one eye open. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all didn't hear from me, but when you hear him scream, you're gonna hear him loud. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
As many crime shows as we watch, How to Get Away with It.
Sorry. Okay. Anybody else want to chime on in this one? If they're not, I'm going to move on to our speed dating. All right, speed dating is up, guys. I'm going to give you a couple of, categories. And the first answer is going to be a 1. The second answer is going to be 2. There are no 3s. You do not mix it up. Okay, you have a 1 or 2. If you're watching and you want to chime in, put your 1 or 2 up there as well, so we can see what America thinks. Yeah, I know all of America is watching, but so all right. First, in the speed dating, clean yourself, meaning your house, or cleaning service. Clean yourself or cleaning service. Whoa, cleaning service wins tonight. What? Okay, so nobody takes joy in cleaning themselves. I think it's therapeutic. I love cleaning.
Yes, love it.
No?
Love it.
When I start my cleaning service, I'm coming to clean y'all houses. I got some people already, right? Because I love to clean. I do. It's very therapeutic.
Listen,
no?
Yes.
Over it. I am over it.
Well, I'm inviting Latasha over to my home, and we can clean
I would
together
definitely
since it's therapeutic for her.
I love that. I think it's very therapeutic to sit and clean. I really do.
I'm on a liquid gold binge myself right now. I've done the grout lines, I've done the mopping of the floor, and now I'm liquid golding all of the wood.
Yep. See, there you go, Doc. I love it. I love it. See, y'all missing out. Y'all need to come on over.
Hey, anytime y'all get bored, but anytime y'all get bored and you need to think some things through, I got you. Just give me a call.
All right.
I got some things that need to be worked out over here.
Home Alone or everyone home? Home Alone or everyone home? 1 is Home Alone, everyone home. Everyone home wins? Oh, it's a split screen, 3-3. Really? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna break this tie for you. Home Alone. Woo! Get them all out the house. Let them go. Let them go. Where they going? I'll be here waiting on you when you come back. Okay? Really? All right. Now, next one.
Sometimes you just need 5 minutes of woosah.
No, I need 25. Yeah. 25. You forgot. I have a 2-year-old running right here. Gigi, what you doing? That's the only question we know. What you doing? I'm sorry. Dinner guests are clubbing. Be honest. Don't be lying. Oh, y'all lying. Oh, you're lying.
My bedtime is 9:30.
Oh, please.
Dinner guest. All right. At 9 o'clock, I'm tuning up.
Yes.
I'll take it.
I at least got you by 1 hour, Joy. It's 10:30 and it's a wrap.
Okay. All right, ladies, let's go. Pets are not an animal lover. Split screen again, 3-3. I don't know. I don't have an opinion about that. It has to be the right pet. Not just
I had pets, all kind of pets growing up.
I'm picky about my pet. See, if I want a dog, I don't want nothing cute and fuzzy. I want some. Don't keep them away, okay? Don't protect me when the husband not home. No.
I got a 97-pound German Shepherd laying right here by my feet.
Oh, yes.
But he sound like he a baby. We ain't heard him once.
He's not a baby. You can't get close to his mama.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I want some DMX in here. You know, I want that cute stuff. All right, next. Cook, order out. Order out.
It depends. It depends. It depends.
It does.
All right, Malana, put your
I have
fingers
to
back
say-
up again. Put those hands back up again. 2, 1, 2.
See,
It
I'm
depends.
surprised about this because all the ones that have those 2 up can really cook.
Yeah, because that's why
You know
I say
what?
it
But
depends. Like if
I'll say from
I'm cooking for people, I enjoy it. But if it's just me, order.
Mm-hmm.
now cooking is
I will
therapeutic.
say
I love it. I love it.
I've done a lot of cooking in my time that I'm over it.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all getting a lot of I'm over it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the cleaning stuff,
I'm with
yeah,
Lena.
I'm done. The
Mhm.
cooking, unless I have to, I don't wanna.
I can't cook. I just like to bake because I cannot cook. I don't want to cook. When my mom was a fantabulous cook, and when she was cooking, come on here, let me show you. I'm Monteesia, what you doing? I'm gonna go tell her I'm gonna hang out with my girls. Mama, I catch you later. Deuce, I'm not cooking, and I missed that. I should have gone in the kitchen and watched her because my husband was like, "Well, I thought because your mama can cook, I was getting a cook." Well, you thought wrong.
You
I
see,
didn't
for
cook you
me,
not one meal while we was dating, so I don't understand why you thought that.
so
Not
Tasha, I was a
one
lot like you, and then I had these 4 boys. But when I was in college, Demia asked me, did I know how to cook some oxtail? I really had no clue. I said yes, and I called my grandma. He wasn't there when I was cooking. She was telling me everything to do. That was the best oxtail ever. He thought I could cook. I could not cook in those years, but I grew to really love it because when I moved away from my mom and grandma, I kind of tried to replicate it for the boys. And now I don't like to cook because it's just me. So I mastered the art of cooking for 6. And if somebody tell me what they want and they're gonna eat it, they tell me the menu, I'll do it. But now I kind of figure out, is this some soup or something that I can eat without having to turn on the stove, really? So
Air fryer is my friend. Air fryer is my friend.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Do you remember, like, growing up, your grandmother or your mother used to say to you, the best way to a man's heart is to cook, to feed him, right?
Through his stomach.
When I met my husband, the first thing that I prepared for him was lamb, and I didn't even eat red meat. He thought it was gold. He was like, "Oh, she cooking lamb? Oh, it's on." Yeah, no, that was the only piece of red meat he got. He's still trying to get steaks and stuff cooked. I'm like, I don't eat that. And then if I have to prepare like red meat or something, it's so dry. It's so dry. He's just like, just let it go. I got the man though. I made the lamb.
Okay.
I got him.
Is he over it? Is he over it?
No, he still try. Like today, I have to tell y'all this. Today, he was traveling for work, and I said, all right, I know I'm gonna be on here talking and playing around with y'all tonight. So I call myself making a pork tenderloin, and forgot and went outside with the dog, and I was working outside and forgot the pork tenderloin on top of the stove and burnt it. While the fire people was at the door. They were like, they called the smoke. The smoke was all over everywhere. And I was just like,
Now you know what?
to cook a pork tenderloin. And it burned. It caught on fire. The guy was like, how do you burn? This is the fireman that said, how do you burn a pork tenderloin? I don't cook red
By
meat.
not paying attention. Walking the dog feed them little cute dogs. You need to leave that nest alone. Get you a big dog.
Listen, I tried. Now I can cook, y'all. It's just the red meat is
You really
got an
can.
issue with it.
Now I love this one. Y'all listen. Ivory McGee. I'll do dinner out, but not at the club. I like it. Miss Peaches, I want to tell y'all a story. Miss Peaches, you listening? Miss Peaches is one of my mama's good friend, and she is cousin. Listen, the first time my husband and I were married, 2 months into it, we sitting in an apartment in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I called my mom to say, hey, how to make this sweet potato pie. I make this sweet potato pie. It looks good. It looks fabulous. My husband and I cut the pie, put it on the plate, both took a bite, and we laughed for 30 minutes. We didn't even say anything. We just cried that it was dry. I said, "You must have missed something." She said, "Girl, I don't know how you messed that up, but it was truly." And I have never in my entire life ever tried another sweet potato pie. Y'all can
Not a patty pie. You gotta do a patty pie.
I need a patty. No, my oldest daughter, she beats patty pies. You can forget that. I bank chase money on patty pies against my daughter. That girl can cook them pies, honey. But anyway, moving right along. I threw one in there for y'all. Listen, y'all ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Surprises or a gift list. Which one you want? You want a surprise? You want him to surprise you, or you want a gift list?
I have to say,
Really? Nobody wants to surprise you.
no.
They never do it right.
And then you
I'm
have to
the,
act like
I'm the worst. I'm the worst person to try to predict what I'm gonna like. My poor husband, I've had to fake so many smiles, and me for him too. So, and it, actually, I do wish there were a third. No gift. I know you love me. You don't have to cough up a lot of cash to prove it. And I say that with Phil, with my family, especially my family.
Listen, niece, listen to me. Uncle on Mother's Day one day gave me a pair of red and white sneakers.
you really love them, didn't you?
No. And I said, first of all, I don't like red. Second of all, why are you buying me sneakers? Are you telling me I need to go to the gym or something? Don't you ever buy me another. I don't even wear sneakers. So why would you buy me a pair of sneakers? This is me. And the conversation, he said, you are so ungrateful. I said, let me fix this for you. I whipped out some index cards and I said, here's my list that I want for the whole year. And so just go in here and choose something. Don't you ever buy me another pair of sneakers, okay? And that's how we grew our list of every January. We up our list. Here's what I'll take for this year. This is what I'll take. So if you want to surprise me, don't surprise me. Just take something off my list and I'll take it. That's how we do. That's how we roll. So you can't mess that up.
Neat. I love that. I love that. That's dope.
And we put it in our.
I tried that, Tasha. When you first told me about that, I tried that with Mike. And the problem is he wants to buy the gifts for me that he wants me to have. So I could say, oh, just buy me a pair of slippers. He want to go buy some super expensive slippers that wasn't on the list. And I'm like, I'm not, just bring it down or not. Oh, I just want to get you the stuff you wouldn't get for yourself.
Yep.
So I tried the list thing. He still got to get what he want to get.
But see, I'm very generic. I put on here purses, Michael Kors, Coach, Louis. I list what I want. You hear? I said I'm very generic. No, I'm not.
That's pretty specific.
Very specific.
So come here with that foolishness. Perfume now. Now, one thing I will give him, that man can give you a good bottle of perfume. He can sniff it, he can smell it out, and so I'll just put perfume on there. He brings the good stuff. Because when I got that Chanel, I was like, "Ooh, baby."
Well, do you see the Amazon gift list? So for birthday, Christmas, and Mother's Day, I put on Amazon everything I want. I create a list and I send that list to my children and my husband. And I'm like, here's a list. Pick whatever you want from that.
That's a good one.
So see, y'all better go. See, we're learning from each other how to manipulate our men. Let's move on.
Exactly.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You don't know what's on there, but it's what you want.
But see, you know what I used to ask for? And my husband was like, no, that's not personal. But if that's what I want, I used to ask for cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And he was like, no, I'm not buying you that. I'm not buying you that.
You mad about tennis shoes, but you want cleaning supplies.
Yes, sir. All right. So, Shae, you was the last one to come in. One thing in your life you would do over. What is it?
Oh my gosh. Wow. One thing in my life that I would do over. I would do over. I don't know. I don't have a lot of regrets. I can't.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I would just go full force into my singing career instead of trying to balance it with being a teacher.
Yep.
I would just focus fully and just throw all the rocks in there and then come back and be a teacher versus.
If I could sing, I would not be sitting here. I will tell you right now. I tell everybody that all the time. If I could sing, I just would probably be the poorest singer out there searching for it. But I can't sing, so I'm talking. All right. All right, Miss Annette. What would you do over?
If I could do one thing over again, I would never, ever have picked up that first drink of alcohol.
Oh, really?
Well, alcoholism in 10 short years almost destroyed me.
Mm-hmm.
I started out galloping. I became a very gifted secret drinker. Yep. In a family of drinkers, yep. And then in a college drinking environment. Yep. And my alcoholism really wasn't a diagonal lineup. It was like that. And I squandered 10 very crucial years of development, and it brought out the absolute worst in my character. Mm-hmm. And again, alcohol damn near killed me.
I know somebody.
I'm an alcoholic.
Yep.
And although I'm grateful that I was one of the relatively few who were able to get out of that trap, mm-hmm. I will always regret those 10 lost years because I squandered the time and I squandered a lot of blessings that few people ever got.
Yep. So, that is true about alcoholism. I know it personally, and that's the only reason that I started off not drinking. I've seen up close and personal what it does to people, and I don't want any parts of it. And that's just me. So, I mean, I have other bad habits that you can throw in other than alcoholism, like shopping anonymous. Joy, don't be giving me no ideas about no Amazon. So I'm already in hot water about Amazon. My husband said, you need to go to AA, Amazon Anonymous, and stop my doggone door talking about he gonna go your package. So anybody, I'm curious. Go ahead. You're only 20. Go ahead. 22. Go ahead, Malana.
Me?
Yeah.
Honestly, nothing. And that's only because everything or every mistake that I thought was a mistake, I've always learned a lesson from it.
Okay. That's good.
So
okay.
With my 24 young years that I've been here, I honestly regret nothing, or I wouldn't do anything over.
I'm not letting anybody off the hook. Go ahead. Joy?
I don't have very many regrets. But it's one of those things where, my parents, for the most part, have always been right growing up in my life, but they did get one thing wrong. And I'm not going to point out who it is in case mom or my dad are listening, but my career choice. I wish I was on either a reporter or I hosted shows. I wanted to be on TV. I felt like I had a knack for it. I'm in sales, so I'm kind of close, but I really wish I would have went into broadcasting. I think I missed my calling.
Oh, Jesus. Y'all see why I'm doing this right here? Because I wanted to be a news anchor. So since I'm too old now to be a news anchor, I'll host my own show.
Yeah. I mean, you're never too old. First of all, you're never too old.
Yeah, you have for being in news, they want you from a baby so you can grow with your audience. Plus, they want the youth. So right now, I have to go get a facelift just to be in news. Lena?
I would say, all right, I have to set it up this way so that it makes sense. It took me 25 years to do it. And that was finish my degree. Most people take 2 years, 4 years, 6 years. I took 25. Mm-hmm. And that was because I became a mother at 22. Mm-hmm. I put my kid first, but I continued in school. So I took one little class here, one class there, every chance I could get. Then I relocated. My husband found me. We had another child. And in between all of that, I'm still doing one class here, one class there. But with saying that, it's not a regret because nothing happens by accident. Those 25 years to the date just let my kids know that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to stop. There's no judgment from me. The career fields in school changed multiple times. I started off in dental school. I am nowhere near the career of dental. But just the fact that it took 25 years, that would be the one thing that I would change.
All right.
It's just hard to put, it's hard to put me first when there's so many other people in the equation.
Yeah, I got it.
Ivory McGee put a post down there that says you could be on HSN.
Yeah, she did. She's trying to give me hope.
By the way, Ivory McGee is one of my Mocha Mom sisters. So
hi, Miss Mocha Mom.
Coming in, Ivory.
Thank you. All right, James, and then we're gonna wrap that question up with. I think we've heard everybody. James, you last.
Okay, I thought about this, and before I went and I figured out some things, but I think that everything we do is important to our journey that gets us where we are. So I don't necessarily have a thing of regret. And Tasha might disagree with me, but I think I lived kind of conservatively as a young lady, and I could have been more young, wild, and free. And I think I look at it looking, but I grew up in a small community where everybody knew everybody, and my parents were conservative, and a lot of the things that you do weren't necessarily completely your own convictions. And it was a community of things. And I, at this point, am strong enough to not care what other people think or say or any external judgments. But as a young woman, those things mattered.
Okay.
And I think I would have let them matter less. And I would have done more of just me. And I don't know how that would have changed my journey. But the way I lived that or addressed that is in raising my children. I didn't impose those kind of things on them. I allow them to grow and nurture who they are and be different. And of course, they have boundaries and guidelines, but not worried about what the neighbor's going to say or what such and such things you should or should not do. I think I just would have been a freer me, and I would have come into my own sooner. I think I would have gotten to this space of living my life for me without consideration of external judgment. And I think that, and again, though, even looking back on that, had I been young, wild, and free, my journey might not have led to where it is. But just
I have one regret: student loans. Moving on.
Oh yes.
God.
Moving right along. That's my only regret in life is student loans. Everything else has happened the way it was supposed to happen. I guess I don't know because God has. You have one plan and thought process. God has another. What qualities do you look for in your other half? Give me 3. You were dating. You were getting ready to find love. Give me 3 qualities you were looking for. Not saying specifically in the person that you're with now, just 3 qualities that you were looking for in that person. All right, we're gonna go reverse. Monteesia.
Okay, so now I'm thinking back all these years, right? Some of them still hold true because one, I am sort of vain, so I need him to be handsome to me, and that's all in the eyes of the beholder, right? Potential at 50, I wouldn't look for potential. I would look for accomplishment versus a potential. But I got married at 24, so potential, handsome, and fun, like adventurous, want to embrace life, not You know, I was a business student, and at the time, rarely did I hope my SBIans aren't watching, but I felt like some of them were so stuffed shirty, and I just, you know, wanted somebody who embraced life and loved life.
Okay.
That's
All
three.
right. Helena, 3.
He has to be fun. Like, you got to make me laugh, and that's one of the major things my husband used to do. Make me laugh to no end. I'm gonna say sexy, fine and sexy. They just gotta have that kind of look, you know, that make you wanna. You don't mind when other people look at them because you be like, yeah, that's mine right there. You know. Now, what they start off like and what they end up like is 2 different things, but I still love him. He's still cute in my eyes. What's my third thing?
Your third thing is getting out of hot water.
No, but you see, here's the thing. I knew when I came on here that you got to be able to tell your truth. I ain't going to be fake and phony because it is what it is. My husband knows this about me.
Okay.
Okay,
3.
this is just who I am. I am the same always.
Yep.
So I don't have to worry about when I get off of here, am I going to be in hot water or whatever. I'm not going to worry about that.
Okay.
But the third thing is that he had to be an honest, like a honest man of God. You had to know the Lord, because all else, it wasn't going to work. Because if you can't put him first, you will definitely not be able to put me first. Okay. So that had to be like a major quality.
Right. Joy?
My first quality, just like all the other ladies said, looks was big. That's what attracted me. I had the hugest crush on Omar Epps, and Lord, I met and fell in love with
Omar.
Yes, I married Omar Epps. Man of God is also important to me. Religion's important. God is important in my family, and I needed that in a husband to be able to lead our household. And unlike Miss James, I was the crazy party girl, and I needed somebody to balance me out. I couldn't have too craziness. So my husband's very calm, cool, collective, very even keel. I'm wild and crazy and fun, and he's a great balance. So we have a great marriage.
Awesome. All right. Doc, Miss Annette?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
The top 3 are intelligence, integrity, and extremely good looks.
All right.
Extremely.
I haven't seen that.
I've got about 15 more, but those are the top 3.
Okay. Go ahead. I like that. Malana, I won't tell him. Go ahead.
Well, like everyone else, looks, openness, and me personally, when looking for a partner, I always looked at how they treat their family or how their relationship was with their family. Just from my own personal father issues or whatever, that was something that I always looked for in a partner.
Right. That's fair. All right, Shae.
Mine would be ambition, spiritual or relationship with God, and dedication. I mean, it's dedicated to whatever it is that he sets out to go towards.
Okay.
So whatever it may be, me, his business.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. So dedication, ambition, and spirituality.
Ladies, does appearances truly matter?
Oh, yeah.
Clearly from our
Oh, yeah.
That's why I did it collectively.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
not the face, but at least how you put yourself together. It doesn't. I mean, for me, even though my husband is handsome, it just turned out like that. I never was like super into like looks, but more so how you put yourself together. So dress and definitely shoes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right.
I just got lucky and he's handsome.
Oh my. We all did. All
Yes.
right. How do you work through conflict within yourself? Conflict.
Hmm.
Conflict. I can start.
Explain on that more.
For the longest
Expand on that a little bit more.
for the longest time, I internalized everything. And then I had a boiling point, and then it just all spewed out. Went to a counselor once, and she said, you need to stop doing that. You need to give yourself time. Nobody says that you have to talk about something right then when it happens, but you need to give yourself time to collect your thoughts and then go for it. So I learned to pull back so that I can have that conversation out loud and not just internally. And one thing I used to say, 72 hours, that's good for me. My husband and I, he had to agree, he know, because something happens, he wants to talk about it right now. He got to get it off the table, got to get it off his chest. No, because I'm in that moment, I'm going for the jugular vein. I'm gonna try to hurt you. I'm gonna say whatever I can with words that are negative, and I don't want that. Because one thing I know, once you say it and it comes out of those lips, that pink tornado in there, you can't take it back. So for me, I had to learn how to pull back and then know how to go forward. So a lot of times it's just about, even if I have to write it out first so that I can be able to, don't interrupt me while I'm talking so that I can get all my thoughts out, because if you interrupt me, I'm going to lose something. And that's just how I do. I put it on paper first when there's a conflict so that I can push it out to myself or whoever it is or whomever it is. Anybody else want to add to that one?
Yeah, I think for me, it's a lot of self reflection. If something happens or if I have a problem, I do have to remove myself from the situation. And I've learned through the years, Joy, are you hungry? Joy, is it that time of the month? Joy, is there something external that's making you feel this way
Yeah.
before you move forward? I
Right.
used to be a person that internalized it. So I wanted to look at myself and like, why am I feeling this way? And if it's
Right.
valid, if it's
Right.
truly valid, then I do believe in not necessarily confrontation, but going back to the source and having that adult conversation, because holding it in, like you said, it's just going to explode and does nobody any good. But I do have to self-reflect first to find out what environment is this conflict in.
All right.
Hmm.
I just want to say, hey guys, my cousin from Virginia is watching. Hey. All right, go ahead. I think Miss Joy, I'm not Miss Joy, but Miss Annette, you had something you were saying?
Me?
Yes, I thought I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I think one of the voices in my head was talking, and usually I'm kidding. I think just briefly with me in conflict, a lot of times it depends what the conflict is.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an emotional conflict that's just about me and how I'm perceiving something, that's something I can duke out just in my own head. But an external situation, perhaps in the past, before I stopped working, a work problem and a human interaction problem, I usually ask my husband.
Mm-hmm.
But I think primarily the way I work out all of my emotional and intellectual and just life issues in my head, this is going to sound weird. I do my morning workout. And I think I really have become a real believer in the mental and emotionally therapeutic benefits of a hardcore, well done workout. I go into my workout in the first thing in the morning, and my brain is a bag of cats, man. It's black tar and spiders, and I'm a monster. I plow through my workout, I come out of it, and I am zen. I have clarity, and all of the garbage is out. And then really the answers, 9 times out of 10, they come to me.
Okay.
And I'm very blessed to have found that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very handy. But a lot of times I rely on my husband's judgment, because when I get something in my head that usually has emotional gratification for
Mm-hmm.
me, even though it's the wrong thing, it's almost impossible to dislodge.
Okay.
And I've tried to rely more on Phil over the years to be my sounding board.
Okay. All right.
So,
Anybody else for that question?
I will say it depends. Again, if it's an internal conflict, thinking it through.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, how did I, like, if it's I'm saying I perceive, not with another person. So how did I contribute to it? What are some things? I think anytime we're in a situation, I like to think about, reflect on what was my contribution to that conflict, so that you can avoid it, or you can do something different next time, so that you don't keep going through the same kind of conflict. And
Mm-hmm.
then, so if it's like, I call it an internal civil war. So what is that conflict
Yeah.
when you have cognizant dissonance, meaning maybe you think one way and you feel another way? How do you reconcile those? So that takes just a lot of just quiet time and alone with your thoughts. But if it's external, I'm very verbal. And so if I have an issue, I'm going to want to talk about it to you, and we can go back and forth, and I'm good after that. If I don't talk to you about it, it's going to fester, and it will ruin whatever kind of relationship. It could be a work relationship, it could be a friendship. Because I think if you put it on the table, it's about being transparent. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're real friends, that it's not always, it's not going to be always smooth. You're not going to always agree on everything all the time. And it should not damage your friendship. It's kind of like I have a sister. So me and my sister can argue. We're still sisters. And
Mm-hmm.
we still love each other. But if you don't talk about what the issues are, the issues stay there, and they fester and they grow. Issues that are unaddressed don't just go away.
Right.
So I like, and my way of addressing them is through conversation, candid conversation. I'm pretty direct, but I try to consider other people's feelings. But I don't even think I go with that 72-hour rule. I do if it's something where I feel like I'm really going to hurt somebody's feelings. I'll give it some time. But I think the sooner you address the issue, the sooner it becomes less of an issue.
Okay. So, anybody else want to add to that? Because you guys have actually embarked on something that I've always been thinking about. Are you, not Doctor, Mrs. Annette, are you emotional or logical?
Am I emotional or logical?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm both. I have a really loud brain. It's always clattering and chattering, and emotions are just fooling around all over the place. But I think through all of that, I do approach a situation or a problem, or just trying to analyze something. I do think I have a pretty logical approach to things. And I think the only time my sense of logic fails me is when I'm missing information. And I think actually I come from two long strains on my mother's and father's sides, both, of very angry, hyper emotional people. And their id was always at war with their super egos. And I'm hoping to use my emotions to fuel my joy and life, but my brain to guide the decisions.
Now I know we have to go, but I want this question to really just quickly, Joy, emotion, logic.
Emotion.
Lena,
Logic.
Malana,
Emotion.
Monteesia.
Balanced. And I've done a lot of assessments, and they almost always come out even.
Okay. Shae.
I like to say logic, but I think I'm pretty balanced. Just in general with any. I wasn't even thinking about that, Monteesia, the personality test. I'm always pretty balanced, but I'm a Capricorn and very logic. Address the situation. Definitely all about conflict resolution, but when compared to my husband, logic.
Leo, emotional. Okay. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. We're affectionate, but there's no logic in my brain for doing anything. I'm sorry. I'm very emotional. And my husband, my brothers, they all tell me, girl, stop it. Just stop. And then when your brothers tell you that they like your husband more than they like you, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. I have one more question for you guys. Two quick questions. Why are women misunderstood more than men?
We're more emotional and hormonal.
Hormonal.
We have a menstrual cycle. We don't, there are things that are out of our control. Thank you, Eve. There are some things that are just, out of our control that we have to deal with on a monthly basis. And then go even into like getting pregnant, having miscarriages, having babies, just the changes that your body goes through. So there's some things that we just have to like go with it and kind of adjust to it while it's happening, because we can't control it unless,
Okay.
of course, go to the doctor, medical, surgery, all that stuff.
Anybody else? Why are we more misunderstood?
So I'm going to say misunderstood by who? I think that sometimes we are more misunderstood, but if we are, if you're not expressing, sometimes I think women are taught not to say what they really feel. And then that's why you're misunderstood, because you didn't give the information. Someone just mentioned you make bad decisions when you don't have all the information. So we say we're misunderstood, but it's really that we didn't fully and authentically express.
So are they passive aggressive, Miss Jane?
They don't listen.
Are they passive aggressive, Miss Jane?
I think.
What did you say, Joy? I didn't hear you, Joy.
I think a lot of times we do express ourselves correctly. They don't listen, or they hear what they want to hear, and they're not taking everything we're saying in consideration. I will tell my husband something like from front to end, and he's only thinking of what out of this can I fix. Solve this. I don't need you to. I don't need you to.
That's me. So that's why
I listen.
So I guess I was wondering.
Right,
I think
exactly.
we're misunderstood by men, but I don't know. Like her question said, why are we more misunderstood in general or by the opposite sex? So I do agree with what you said. Men hear what they want to hear. Yes, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I kind of think that
I will say to that question. I'll say to that question that we're kind of misunderstood because people overlook the importance of what we say. A lot of times we know a lot about situations, experiences, and we've thought it out. So it's a process. And people are either not willing to hear the whole process, or they take from it what they want to. So we put a lot into, as can't see her name down at the bottom.
Monteesia. Oh, Shae.
She said when it comes to having babies and the experiences that you go through with that, it takes a lot. It's not just we're gonna pop it out and we're back to normal. We're gonna go back in the kitchen and start cooking again. It's a process that we go through, and it's misunderstood. Because it's just like, oh, you were created to be able to have a child, so have a child and get back to normal. Mm-hmm. Or lose a child and go back to normal. Lose a family member and go back to normal. The expectations on us are just like that. It's just overlooked.
All right, Miss Annette.
Kind of piggybacking on what Helena just said, I've really often thought that the reason women are misunderstood is that historically we've just been held hostage to the expectations, the self-serving expectations and impressions and approval of all of the people around us, not just men. Women exploit women too. And women have expected women to behave a certain way. And when a woman says something that's authentic to her, that doesn't necessarily fit the caricature that the person has of you, they're confused. And I think things in certain
Is that her?
I didn't mean to cut you off, but honey, you just hit a nerve there. You just hit a nerve, Miss Annette. You just said it all because I think historically we have been told as women, as a little girl, women are seen and not heard. So by the time we get it out of our mouths, they've already turned us off. Even if it's your grandma, somebody, a lady, or a man, it doesn't matter. We were taught, and if you have any elderly grandparents, because nowadays I hear these kids at school, my grandma, oh, how is your grandma? Today this girl said her grandma was 48 and she was old.
Mm-hmm.
I said, your grandma how old? 48. I said, I must be over the hill then.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Miss Carey, how old are you? I said, 50. She said, no, you're not. I said, yes, you are. She said, my grandma a little older than you. It must be the diabetes. It must be the drinking. I said, girl, and now you're telling your grandma's business. So just stop. Just stop.
No,
But I really think it's because we are taught at a very young age, girls are seen and not heard. I know I heard that from my dad so much so I didn't even know if I was visible.
So the back, and I'll say I actually wasn't taught that, which is probably why I talk way too much. But when we talk about being misunderstood and we talk about the things we go through with menstrual cycles and having babies and so forth, it's other women who misunderstand us too, who go through those same things. So I don't know if it's those things or it's just, I don't know what the root cause, because it's not just men that misunderstand women.
Mm-hmm.
We don't always seek to understand each other. Just because their experience through those same processes are different. And we expect, well, I did it and it happened this way for me. She should be able to do it the same way. And I think that's part of it. We put our frame on everything instead of being open to empathy. We don't have empathy for the other person and experiencing what they are experiencing.
Yep. Last question, ladies. I know growing up, and this is one problem that a lot of kids have. They don't dream. They don't dream. They don't dream. And social media has killed it for them. They can't dream because everything is just put out there. But as a little girl, each one of us had dreams. That fairy tale dream. Are you living that fairy tale? All right, Miss Annette, we're going to close out with you. Are you living that fairy tale dream that you had as a little girl? If not, why?
The dreams that I had when I was a kid were so small. And the life that I wound up living, which included its share of overcoming problems, and the work that I was able to find, and the husband that I was able to find, and the rapprochement that I was able to find with people that I previously had bad conflicts with, is so much more than what I dreamt of as a kid. I lived on kids' television shows.
Oh yeah.
But also, the good that I had in my environment was invisible to me. Okay. I was too young to appreciate it.
All right. So. That's a fair answer. All right, Joy, your final thoughts. The dream.
I would say yes. I really want to be a wife and a mother. Those are more important to me growing up than my career. And I love I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed. So I'm pretty close on living my dream.
Awesome. Good. All right, Miss Davis, Hampton-Davis.
I'm going to say yes, like Joy. As a kid, you grow up thinking, oh, I want to have the happy family and the white picket fence. And one way or another, I kind of have all those little things that I thought I wanted as a kid. So I'm going to say yes.
All right. Monteesia?
I would say I'm living more than my dream. Like some of the things that have happened, I didn't dream of. It's not what I would have planned. You know how we plan our lives, but as you mentioned earlier, God has a plan. And so if you allow yourself to be in God's plan. But when you mention fairy tale, I don't believe in fairy tales. I don't have daughters, but I would have told them, don't expect nobody riding up on no white or black horse. Those fairy tales are not real. And I think we all had those, and it kind of gave us, I don't know, misconceptions of what happiness or happy life would be, but I would say I am blessed, and I thank God for all
Okay.
His blessings.
All right, Shae.
Repeat the question for me.
Fairy tales. We all, as a little girl, we had those dreams. Are you living that fairy tale? If not, why?
When I was a little girl, I didn't. I'm different. When I was a little girl, I don't think I dreamed of like the growing up to get married and have kids. And I actually wrote a song about that. But I am married, and so that part. Um, no, I'm not living the dream that I had when I was a little girl. I know that. I know that whatever I thought was gonna happen when I was a little girl, and what I'm doing now has blown my mind compared to what I grew up in, my environment, and all of that stuff. So I know I used to read a lot, and I used to imagine a lot, and put myself in people's shoes a lot. But what I grew up around in, and what I'm doing now, and how my life unfolded, it's blown my mind.
Oh,
So
great.
I know I'm not living whatever it was I thought I would be doing.
Okay. Youngin.
I would say yes. I've always dreamed of being in law enforcement from as early as I know. That was my career path that I wanted to be on. I know I wanted to do something impactful in my community. So I would say yes.
I set out to have a husband and kids. I never said what the sex of the kids were going to be. I just wanted children. I wanted a husband and I wanted a career. I wanted the white picket fence. I never dreamt of being rich. I think I looked at my parents who were married 49 years, 3 months before 50th anniversary. My mom passed away. And I had a good set of role models. Okay. I didn't say their life was a fairy tale. I had good role models, as in work ethics, making sure kids had what they needed, provided love the best that they could in the circumstances that they had. And one of the things my mom said to all of us, and I remember this vividly as if she was saying it yesterday. I only need three things for my kids to be successful in life. One, you are not in and out of jail. Two, you're not on drugs. And three, don't be calling me all the time for money. She said, if you can give me those three things and whatever job you have, you do your job honestly. She said, even if you're a garbage man, I need you to be the best garbage man out there. She said, if there was somebody in the band, because our band was like, kids come and go, they get mad with the band director, they want to quit because Mr. Bush is too rough or whatever. My mama said they will always have a band because y'all three going to take y'all little narrow tails out there and it's going to be a band. You're going to have one on drums, one on the trumpet, and one shaking pom-poms, okay? So she said, whatever you do, you start, you finish it. And I have always lived my life to the three expectations my mom set forth for us, which is these are what make you successful in my eyes. If you can give me that, you successful. So I guess I'm pretty successful. So that's, ladies, panel. I want to thank all of these wonderful, beautiful ladies from different walks of life. And I want to say you exceeded my expectations and what could happen here tonight. And I have to tell you, Miss Annette is my movie friend, and I love her. Joy came to me via Jimmy, Calixte, and Helena, and I love having you in my life because you are a joy. She's just a happy person. So thank you, Miss Joy. And congratulations, 2022, AKA of the year. Helena Hampton-Davis was the first person I met in Tampa. Turned around in church and scolded my children because they was arguing. She said, y'all better listen to y'all mama. Okay, I remember that. She was like, so that's, Helena has been here for 10 years. Thank you, friend. She gets on me when I don't do it right. And we come back. And she's always there. So thank you, Miss Hampton-Davis. She gives good advice too. She called me little sis, although she's only a year older than me. Okay. Monteesia, my God, 26, 27 years. No, it's been about 28 years. And
Mhm.
um, we met in college and we have been friends. We work together. We go out together, although I think she only went out. You know what? No, I thought you were the cause of me meeting my husband. No, it was Deshina.
I was gonna say
You
not
called
me.
me and
I
say,
was
"Come, let's go out." I was like, "I don't want to go to no club." And I went out with Deshina, and this is a true story, ladies. My husband was standing there 2 years prior. He was in one of my classes, and one of the girls that we were with said, "Oh, he's kind of cute." I pushed her out the way. Said, "Oh, back off, honey. This was my class." I ran over there real quick, and I had to stop short before I knocked him off. And I was like, "Hey, you remember me?" That was the line I used. He was like, "Yeah, you were in one of my classes." Like, what is wrong with you? Are you retarded? Why are you talking so slow? He's like, "I'm drunk." Oh, okay. My mouth, it has no filter. So I just said what came out of my mouth. And we have been friends together. And yeah, she is boring. She ain't like to party. So whatever.
I was doing
She,
other things they didn't know about.
oh, ooh. We gotta have a conversation
Surprise.
after the show.
No, we worked together, and I was dating a person we worked with, and we would hang out at groups, and they never knew it till
Yeah. She couldn't
till
tell
we
because
had
she
a
was a
baby.
manager. So she wasn't supposed to be dating him. Y'all heard that now. Anyway. All right. Shae came to me via Chamberlain High School. Woo! Lord have mercy. Honey. There was many conversations in the dark. And I promise you that last year I couldn't have gotten through it without her. Okay, we were locked in arms, like, all right, Scurry, let's do it. Hey, you go that way, and I go this way, and I'm chasing and hoarding kids around trying to get them just to go to class. You hear this way, here come Miss Scurry, here come Miss Robinson, and they take off and go to running. I'm like, oh my God, these kids crazy. But I loved them. I loved every minute of it, and she made it easy for me to get up and come to work. Thank you, baby.
Love you.
Y'all, this young lady at the bottom of the screen is 24 years old and will be marrying one of my favorite nephews on 3/3/23, y'all. She will be the new Mrs. Nicholas Bird. All right. Yeah, she said handsome. I don't know about that. No, I'm just kidding. But that's my baby. He's my baby. And she's good for him because she don't let him be a baby.
You better tell him not to cheat. I know that.
Who knows? Who knows?
So this is the cast. I thank everyone. Anyone, if you have any interesting story that you want to share, I don't care what it is, hit me on my main page in Messenger, Latasha C. Scurry. I'll be very open to that conversation and that topic. Next week, the fourth week of every month, the fourth Wednesday, I'm always demoing product this year because I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I need to get my coins. So if you see something on there that you like, go and buy it. I get my little coins. Amazon ain't trying to give me a lot. So don't think I'm getting rich because I'm not. Okay. And so I will be doing that. But the first month, Wednesday of every month, I want to invite everybody back. This entire year, I'm setting sale. We set sale on the first Wednesday with reship, which means we're repackaging ourselves this year, diving into what makes us happy and as people, not ladies, just men, women, children, anybody who want to. And our next word is coming up on February 1st. You need a captain's hat because you are the captain of your ship. You need to refocus on what's making you happy. 2023 is our year. So if you're available, tune in on February 1st. And guys, I am just so happy to be here. My name is Latasha Scurry. I'm your domesticated diva. Thank you all and good night. Bye.
Bye.
Right.